Okay, so today we have Burhan and Fatih, and we're going to be asking the same questions as we did previously. So I'll first let you introduce yourself, Burhan. So if you could just, provide your location, possibly your age, and just your experience up until this point.
Yeah, my name is Burhan. I am from Turkey. I was graduated from a political science major in my country. So I was a salesperson before. I worked for 2 or 3 companies, like for maybe more than 2-3 years. I don't know.
Okay.
Those were 9 to 5 full-time jobs. Now, for the last 10 to 11 months, we are together with my partner Fatih in the ecom business.
Okay.
And it's like that.
Good. Okay. And Fatih, so you're both partnering and you're doing this full time. I take it you're in Turkey as well, Fatih.
Yeah, I am. I'm also from Turkey, and I graduated from economics. Before this, I was working with my family, and after that, I was working on a French company working on indoor farming, and here I am.
Okay, so quite a versatile team, different experience.
Yes.
It's funny how sorry,
just trying to find my path.
Yeah, it's funny how the majority of graduates, whatever they graduate in, do something completely different. But there you go. So before you both started e-commerce, I take it you started dropshipping. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So before that, did you try anything else online, whether that's any kind of arbitrage, whether it's affiliate marketing or anything else, trying to make money online?
Fatih has a great experience with online presence.
Yeah, before that we actually didn't try anything. I personally I tried some stuff, selling stuff from Instagram and etc. But it wasn't a huge success, so I just gave up and started for the other company. But then when I met Burhan, he was very curious about e-commerce and dropshipping, so we started this together, and we were really successful. So
okay. Cool.
Here we are.
So how do you two know each other, just out of interest?
We studied at the same university.
Okay. Well, so you met each other at university.
Yeah, we have known each other for more than 5 years.
Cool. Okay, so when did you first start out dropshipping? How long ago?
I don't exactly remember that, but I think we stayed as dropshippers like 2 months.
Okay.
Days. 50 days. For 50 days we dropship. Then we just left that fulfillment method.
Okay, so you're still pretty new to e-commerce. You haven't been doing it for like years. Okay, no. Cool. So you've found success pretty early, and that comes to the next question is, so how long after? So when you started dropshipping and e-commerce, how quickly did you find your first successful campaign or product?
Yeah, that's a good story. We actually find success at our first product.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. I think that's not a coincidence, in my opinion, because we have spent months trying to find the perfect product, and we had an Excel list, arguing about them all of the time. We had lots of formulas to rank them, etc. And I think it's not a coincidence, but Yeah, we did it in our first time.
So there's obviously lots of hard work before the launch. So you obviously done lots of research. You guys aren't the typical dropshippers that you just see a product and you think, oh, that's good, let me try it. So you've obviously got a system that you use to decide whether or not you're going to spend money and time advertising that product.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
But let's be sure there was no software. There was just our thinking and arguing each other.
Sure, of course. So the first product, is that still going now? Are you still selling it?
Yeah, we are selling it. We just, change it a bit, a different type of product, but the same use.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have to, for confidentiality and to give away your, you don't have to mention what it is or anything.
You can say it's the same product.
Sure. Okay. And have you started selling any other products or tried to research or create any more campaigns, or you're only concentrating on this product?
Right now we are just concentrated on this one. In the future we have some plans about expanding, but it is going like that right now.
Okay. Sorry, to step back a bit, I should have actually asked this before, these questions. So do you both have different roles in the partnership? So for example, Burhan, do you do the marketing side? Fatih, do you do like the management of the store, or do you both just do everything?
No, actually we have roles in this company, as everyone should have.
Sure.
Because everything gets mixed up, and
Yeah. Sure.
I do marketing, if you want to know, and I'm also a media buying guy.
Okay.
Mostly. Burhan is working on the store, and he's also our accountant and doing every administrative things that I don't have any idea about. Also,
sure.
From time to time we always share the stuff that we are doing, so there's not a clear cut.
Of course,
we are partners, we help each other out.
Because I know, Burhan, you're quite active talking to our staff with the orders and management and stuff. So I take it you're more hands-on on that and replying to clients and stuff and customers.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, so have you? Well, you obviously have, and I know some of the obstacles you have encountered. But to hear it from you, what problems have you found with not just the product that you're selling at the moment, but just running a store in general?
Lots of problems, Philip. I don't know which one to start. Everyone is talking about iOS 14, and we just started weeks before the iOS 14, so it was going great the first weeks. Then it started, and we were like, what the hell is going on? And we tried to optimize the campaign, but it wasn't work. Right now, it is still doing okay, but not as great as the times before. And I always say this, thank God we started before iOS 14, because we know how it was, the potential. And right now it is not the same. And after that, we have lots of problems living in Turkey because we don't have access to everything that Europeans or other people do.
Example. So, for example, I'm guessing it was like payment processor.
Yeah, mostly. PayPal is not working in Turkey, so we had lots of troubles in there. We had troubles in the supply side. Maybe Burhan wants to talk about that.
Okay. And how did you well, whether you managed to resolve them or not, or how did you improve on those issues, on those problems?
By analyzing and working out, we always try to think why this is happening and how we can solve this, in that manner. We are not ignoring anything. We always have, a work line. So
Sure.
if we keep something, it will come back and haunt us. We know that. So
Sure.
we always try to find ways. We always benchmark. We always talk other people in the
Yeah.
sector, and we always read. We never stop reading or listening podcasts because those things are feeding us all the time.
Of course.
We know that people are facing the same problems we are, so it helps a lot. So I would definitely suggest that,
Okay.
because when you're making money, it's okay, it's going. You can do that, but it leads you a blindness. So if you fall for that trap, you will not last long. You can stay there for a couple of years, but the world changes, Philip. So you have to adapt. If you don't,
Sure.
you're gonna lose it.
Sure.
So
Yeah. So I mean, it's comes down to just updating your knowledge, self-improvement, and just making sure you're up to date, basically. So, and the interesting thing here, and is probably, even if there are other Turkish viewers that are going to be watching this, you obviously don't have to be very specific, but how did you get around the PayPal payment processor?
We had our own specific and special solution for us, and that worked for us. That may not work for all the people
Sure.
who are into that business, but all the people generally think VPS or VPN methods as a solution, and in my opinion, they are not the solution, because PayPal can track those things.
Sure.
I had some computer engineering friends to whom I just consulted, and they gave me that response. So they don't work, in my opinion.
Okay.
But we have another specific solution, let's say it like that.
Cool. Good. So you managed to solve the problem then. Cool. Good to hear. Depending on obviously where you sell to, but and I'm not exactly sure if this affected you, because you started after the EU VAT rules, so from the 1st of July. Did that affect you in any way? So obviously when you're selling to the EU countries, there's the VAT on top.
We never sell to EU.
Okay.
Never
So it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't affect you. No problem.
And also we were not at the threshold. There are VAT thresholds.
Sure.
So we are subject to UK VATs, but there is the threshold that we are not.
Sure.
And we just changed our company location, as you know. It was incorporated in UK, now it's incorporated in US. So when you talk about US, it's all a different situation.
Sure.
But it's not an issue. It is not an issue for us.
You kind of answered this question already. I was going to say the same problem with the iOS 14 update, but Fatih mentioned that you just had to kind of adjust. And although performance isn't as good as it was before, you're still able to make it work. So the next question is more in terms of when you did start dropshipping, what made you transition to a fulfillment company or agent, and what was you using before? Was you using AliExpress or Oberlo or?
Before we were using as classical dropshippers, Oberlo and AliExpress. But there are some inherent problems with AliExpress that you cannot overcome. First of all, maybe we should say it. We should say this: when you are outside of ecom, you think some problems as the major ones, but they are not the major ones. Like the shipping time, it is important, but nobody really complains about some 18-20 days if the product is good, if the branding is good, if the packaging is good. Shipping period is not that problem. For instance, AliExpress has kind of, maybe you might say, fast shipping lines actually. For instance, we had 8, 10, 11 shipping days to US, to Australia, to United Kingdom using AliExpress. But this was not what we are following, what we are after. So what we were after when we decided to change to your service was branding, trust, and most importantly, testing. I mean, we cannot communicate with the suppliers in China because of the language barrier, because of their perception through trade. I mean, they don't see trade as that. Maybe they don't take it that seriously.
Sure.
I don't know, but they don't test, they don't respond, they don't, etc., etc. So testing was really important for us because of our product. And secondly, branding. We had our own brand. We didn't put the logo at the first time, but like if you have another company's brand logo over the product, it is a problem.
Sure.
I mean, we aren't like, we really didn't want to put our logo on product because it's irrelevant. It is not important. But if there is another company's logo over the product, it's a really huge problem. Those were the reasons why we decided changing to a fulfillment center.
Okay.
It's not because of costs. It's not because of shipping period. Let's have a faster shipping. It's not that. It's customization. It's branding, packaging, trust, etc.
Got it. Cool. And did you, before you decided to move over to us, did you do any research? Did you speak to other fulfillment companies or agents, or did you just go with the first one you found?
I can say like there were two steps. First of all, when we changed to that, like when we made our decision to transition to a fulfillment center, we had our friend already who was your customer, so you got you by his reference. But we also did our benchmark, and we also did our study, and you are really still good when compared to others, so no problem with that.
Sure. Yeah. So just to be clear, you know, whether you did much research or not, and for those who are watching this, it's very important that even if you do have, you know, word of mouth or recommendations from people, you know, it's still really important to go out there and compare the market and do some research yourself to make sure that you do choose the right partners for your business. So
I mean, no matter how you do your research, there is that reality of you are doing business with China. You are not in China. You don't speak their language. You are not into their culture, etc. So there is some reality behind all this scene. I don't know how much you can improve by doing some benchmark, etc. At the end of the day, it all comes to the relationship between you and your supplier.
Sure. So I mean, did you did mention you'd done some research? You did have a look at other fulfillment companies or agents. Was there anything, of course, aside from the recommendation or the referral, was there any one major thing that you chose us for, that you decided to use us instead of, I don't know, another large fulfillment company in China?
I also had some recommendations from other friends that I have related with other companies, not with you. I mean, like, let's not mention their name.
Sure.
So there are other companies in China who are into the same business. But if one thing is working, do not touch. This is a whole big
if it isn't broken,
like a sacred principle. If something is working, do not touch. So it is, let's say working. I mean, although we have like some way distance to improve. If something is working, we shouldn't touch it.
Correct.
This is the reason behind it.
Cool. Okay. We're almost at the last question, so not far now. What are your short and long-term goals? Long-term goals, whether that's for, you know, this brand or a new brand, or even if it has nothing to do with, you know, e-commerce.
Yeah, you know, we are just right now in the scaling phase, and you know, we set up everything now. We really want to run fast and forward with this brand. So we want to, you know, become a brand in the niche we are in. That's our goal in the near future. And in the long run, we want to expand and, I personally want to increase my assets so that I can, secure my future and everything, because nothing is for certain.
Sure.
Yeah, that's basically it. I don't know.
Okay, no problems. That's fine. So I mean, it's so short and long term plan. You're just concentrating on this one particular brand for the moment, and just trying to be able to scale it. So I mean, do you have a plan for Q4, which is like major days such as Black Friday and Cyber Monday?
Yeah, we are just working on it. We are trying to, work on the supply side and also marketing side. So lots of plans. We'll see. This is our first Q4, so we are not sure what we are expecting exactly, but we are trying to keep it up and hear other people's opinions about things and etc.
Yeah, and probably I'm guessing still lots of research and podcasts and stuff like that to maybe try and find out something new. There's a question that just came to mind actually that's not in the list, that I should actually include in the list from now on. So what platforms are you using? What marketing platforms are you using to drive traffic to your store?
We are using Facebook right now only.
Okay.
We have plans for other places, but still couldn't have time, find the time for it. But we will also expand the other media because why not?
Sure. Yeah, the next maybe iOS 15, when that comes out, you're gonna have problems as well. So try and master or go to a different platform before then. But you never know. It's always affected one way or another. So yeah, is there any advice or recommendation you can give to viewers watching this? For those who are either just started their store or thinking about starting their store, or even those who are a few months in and who haven't found success as early as you guys have.
Yeah. You want to say something?
I can make a suggestion. Like I assume that if some people is like whoever watching this video, I assume he or she is probably at the beginning stage. So it's better to suggest him or her that starting and like progressing is everything. It's not about thinking, planning, like getting up with the greatest strategy, etc. These are not important. There is that one concept which summarizes all what I am saying, which is minimum viable product, MVP. This concept is all the time talked on in the startup ecosystem, entrepreneurship ecosystem. I can make the suggestion because MVP concept is the utmost important thing, in my opinion, if you are at the beginning stage.
Sure. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I can also add stuff to Burhan's saying, like MVP is a good idea, and mostly I hear people like working on the logo for months, because I mean, people know this probably, it doesn't return of investment, this is an important term. It doesn't have a lot of return of investment. So, put something viable and move on. That's the stuff. And also there are two people, like one of those people are like always exaggerating stuff and never moving on and staggering themselves. And other part is never gives a threat, and they are always doing this work and they think it's okay, etc. But and they are always trying to find the easy way to become rich, etc.
Yeah.
I see this, but I don't know. In my humble opinion, there is no easy money.
Yeah.
You always have to find the value, then put more value on it to get something out of it. So I don't know. Just keep trying, and you will always find it. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I've done another interview before this. I haven't posted on YouTube yet, but it's the same kind of thing, you know. And I want to drill it home again to make it clear to everyone watching this. As you say, you know, there's no easy money, unless, of course, you were lucky enough to invest in Bitcoin when it was $1 or something. but you know, whatever it is, especially dropshipping, it's not easy. And those watching this, don't be fooled. Just because Burhan and Fatih found their winner with their first product, it doesn't mean you're going to be the same. You know, they're two very intelligent guys. There's lots of research before they even decided to choose that product. So regardless of which route or path you take, it's just lots of hard work. And I'm sure.
By the way, I would like to clarify one point. It is, and at the end of the day, an easy money, because like I have seen myself many sectors. Fatih have seen. I mean, I know his experience. He is really familiar with lots of businesses, etc. When compared with other sectors, other business, other like business models, ecom might be the easiest way, which would make you get the money in an easy way. But let me tell you that I have a friend who says all the time this phrase: "Easy money is not easy." I mean, if you invested in Bitcoin when it was $1, probably you were like a very intelligent guy and you did your research before, and now you are getting the easy money, but it was not easy.
Sure.
So I might encourage all of the people who are watching this to get into e-com business, because it's a very good business.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, and it's obviously a much lower barrier to entry, you know, with dropshipping, and that's what attracts a lot of people. And you know, I can attest to that, because I first started dropshipping years ago, before obviously started the fulfillment company. And you know, I was still working 9 to 5 and coming home and had to learn from a course. I had no experience with e-commerce or marketing or nothing, and I managed to make it work simply down to really hard work. You know, I'm working sometimes 20 hours a day because I just wanted to get away from. I never enjoyed working for others. It was always a means to an end, and I always, you know, even from a young age, I always tried to make money from, you know, on the side, whether that was, you know, selling car parts or just trying to find a new kind of business opportunity. And I've done so many things before dropshipping that all failed. And, you know, I was just lucky enough to find this at the right time. So when I started, it was obviously all much easier than it is now. And, you know, if I was to have used the same kind of process or the same method as I used over 5 years ago, now I wouldn't have a chance in hell, simply because, you know, the advertising costs are much higher. You know, everyone's much more educated. You know, I was profitable on selling products that were, you know, less than $10, and the average person was just buying one. So the CPA was so low that I could still make money from selling really cheap products. But anyway, that's something else for another call, another day, another video. But yeah, I mean, that's it. You know, there's no more questions. I know you did have 1 or 2 questions for me, although that to avoid repetition, because the previous interview, the exact same question was asked. So, you know, we'll end it here, and then we'll have a chat after this call, the recording, and you can ask those questions. I just don't want to repeat myself for the viewers. They might find it a bit boring. So yeah, thank you very much, Burhan and Fatih. It was a pleasure speaking to you for the first time, you know, on face to face. And yeah, I mean, you know, we could, again, you know, what I mentioned before, it'll be great to have this done more often, you know, maybe 6 months down the line, or whenever you next find or are able to really scale your product or find a new winner, and just keep us updated. Maybe you've learned new things that you can share with the viewers that may possibly help them. So it'll be interesting to see, from this video 6 months later, whether you've progressed or whether, hopefully not, you've gone backwards. But as you know, in dropshipping and e-commerce, there's always up and downs. So nobody knows in 6 months' time what's going to happen, whether there's going to be a huge update or algorithm change on the marketing platforms, or whether, something else entirely, whether that's out of your control, logistics problems, who knows. But it'll be great to have another call at some point in the future. So yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else, that's it. And everyone that's watching, we're going to be posting client interviews with as many as we possibly can. So, keep tuned, and see you again soon. See you guys. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.